Perfect timing. The bongs are bonging. Don't know if you'll hear them because the windows are shut. But that means it's dead on 7. How is everybody doing? It looks very bright and airy on the screen today. Must be that we've still got sunshine now. When did we put our clocks forward? Was it last week or was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? But yeah, we've got the lighter evenings now. Let's do the hellos and welcome everybody, and let's pop the chat open here as well. Okay, so first one in was Luna Lit. Hello, how are you? As always, I look forward to see what you have in mind. I don't have anything in mind. If you was here last week, I said, you would have heard me say, I'm going to do a bit of an experiment. And this week, just not plan anything, and we can just talk about whatever we want to talk about. You can ask me questions, or you can ask to see a particular deck, or whatever you want to do. This is your week this week. And Magus, hello. Lily Rose, hello. Marilyn's here. Hi, Marilyn. Nadine of the Morai, hello. Nice to see you. Esco, hello. Sandra, how you doing? We have Rachel and we have Stephanie, hello. Meadow, Will, hello, Will. And then we have Robin's here. Hi, Robin. And Forever We're After, Louise, Elder Moon, Kat, Eric, Freudis, Ferdiad is here. Hi, Ferdiad. Valley Sky, hello. Fifi Faye, hello. Moomin, hello, Ellen. And our Chris is here. And I've caught up. Yeah, so how is everybody? Oh, and more Sue has just come in. Sue here. Hi, Sue. And Imka, hello from Poland. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so how's everybody's week going? As you know, I've had 10 days off. Well, I'll be able to say that tomorrow. I've had 10 days off. I've had, I broke up a week last Thursday, and it has flown by, but I've been really, what's the word? I almost said lazy, but that's a negative word to use because I don't feel I've been lazy. I feel I've been productive in my downtime. I've not set an alarm, but I still woke up early. I've potted around. I met friends for coffee. I visited my sister one day. We watched a film together, which was nice. And I've read some books. I am struggling with one of the books, and you might be surprised when I tell you which one. Here's Trouble. Yeah, Chris, your reputation precedes you, doesn't it? What colour to edge the lights is. I did mine in green. I bought the indie, which already came edged in green, and then I edged my Hay House Mass Market edition in green. You have prioritised rest, Simon. Yeah, and you know, at one time, I used to feel really guilty. You know, when you go back to work and people say, oh, have you had a nice time off? What did you do? And I say, I've not done anything. And they kind of look at you. And I've got a friend who's a colleague who's been on a cruise around the Caribbean. And I mean, I've just sent her a comment because every day they're at a different island. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, you've done so much in 2 weeks. And literally the whole 2 weeks, they went 2 weeks today and they're still there. So they'll obviously be travelling back tomorrow. And I said, you'll be exhausted when you come back to work on Monday. Half term has flown by. Yeah, I mean, I worked the first 4 days of half term, which was really beneficial as well. Just having a bit of quiet time in the office, catching up with stuff that I needed to do. And then I'm always going to do that now, because I realised in the past, if I break up from work and I go straight into time off, I'm panicking about stuff that's not been done. So I'm always going to have a few days in to get on top of stuff, and then I can break up and I can do what I've just done this time, which is just really breathe out and just let each day unfold without any sort of firm plans. There's lots of other people coming in as well that I don't want to miss. Hello, Tycon. Tycon, nice to see you. I've not seen you for a while. I hope you're okay. Hello, Ella. Tarot E Oracle, nice to see you. Jonathan's here. I was watching Simon's new upload and almost missed this. I have no idea why that's given a thumbs down. You deserve a thumbs up for your comments, not a thumbs down. I will tell my friends that I'm going to binge TV all day and think about all the things I didn't do that night. At night, Simon, every deck in your cave is its own island. Yeah, and do you know, it's been lovely. It's been really lovely. Tomorrow I'm just going for a pamper in the morning at the barber's, having a wet shave, head shave, and all that kind of stuff. I'm in the chair for about 50 minutes usually. You wouldn't believe it, would you, that I could spend that long? But they do the whole, you know, steam on you with a shroud over you, hot towels, wet shaves, electric shaves. But it feels great, and then I'll go back to work feeling all fresh. Got an event on Wednesday that I'm giving a speech at as well, so I've been out today and bought some new clothes. Birthday fortnight is totally a thing, Sandra. Oh yeah, it was Sandra's birthday this week. Happy birthday, Sandra. I know we've spoken most days, but yeah, milk it as long as you can. Hello, Jennifer. Nice to see you. Kathy's here as well. Hello, Kathy. Hot towels are the best. Yeah, but when I went a fortnight ago, he put the steamer too close to me and it was literally melting my skin off. So I had to lift the anyway. Oh, sorry. And he moved it back. So it was too close. And then it kind of left like a sore part. So when he put the hot towel on, I was like, so I might just have to say to him, look, can you not put the steamer too close to me, because my skin is getting older and it can't take the heat. If you have Xmas season, then you can have birthday season. Yeah, a shroud. Simon is the high priestess. What do they call them? It's not a sheet, is it? Do you know what I mean? They put it over your head, covers your head and the steamer, so it all goes directly onto your skin. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're called. I can only think of the word shroud. How do you organise your collection? I only have 70 packs and can't ever seem to find what I want. Yeah, well, I do have a system. So the decks that I use the most are around me. I can't show them, but I've got a short showing my desk. So I've got a cabinet there where this slot, I've got 9 decks, and then I've got a tray with 2 in, and then I've got a little 3 shelf here with an RWS, Marseille and a Thoth, and then I've got a rack of 12 pigeonholes, which has 12 decks in, and then that's it for, oh no, I've got the little shelving unit here, which I got from Glastonbury with a few in. So they're the ones around me. And then I also have the ones I'm working with at the minute in like little bags on my reading space. So I can grab these, you know, quite easily. And then other favourites, he says before dropping them. Oh, and if you saw my video this week, the lovely Aldonna sent me a few gifts, and look at how sparkly this bag is. Aldonna, if you watch this back, this actually fits the Guild Tarot and the book, because she sent me the Guild Tarot book. So they both fit in there really nicely. And I just thought, well, actually, being as she sent me the book, I'm going to keep them together. So that's what I've done. I'm knocking things everywhere now. But anyway, so that's kind of, sorry. Oh, I'll sort it out afterwards. Otherwise, I'm like this, right up in your face. And then, yeah, so the decks behind me are also my collections and things that I like to grab for. So I've got Il Meneghello up at the top here. There's me Il Meneghello decks, Marco Benedetti decks, esoteric type decks, Golden Dawn, all that kind of stuff in that one. Decks in a tin, Deviant Moon, Patrick Valenza decks, RWS across the top, going into Marseille decks, going into Thoth-based decks, going into Italian decks, going into Anatorian decks, and then these are 70s, 60s, 70s kind of decks, and then what I call my beautiful decks. So there is kind of a method. And then in the back room, I've got another wall unit this size, more or less this size, maybe a little bit smaller, with decks that I'm not ready to let go of, but then they're kind of resting. So that's where they are. And then in the built-in cupboard, I've got decks that are in containers that they're in purgatory. They're in that, do I keep them, don't I keep them? Now, this week, do you remember me saying last week I was going to send some to We Buy Books? There's only, surprisingly, for a city, there is only one charity shop, which is, well, there is a, what's that heart one called? British Heart Foundation, but it does like furniture and stuff. But there's a charity shop, and they don't want tarot decks. I think it might be because they're faith-based. Go figure. And so I've got some that I've got up for trade, some that is a giveaway pile. And then this week I sent some off to We Buy Books because, and you know, you can get like, I think the lowest I got was 35p. The most I got was £6. But I managed to, because I was getting overwhelmed, there was, you know, I was up to 1,127 on my last live bib count. So, yeah, so I've let quite a few go, and they were collected, and the money, that was so good. I don't know if anybody's used We Buy Books, but they were collected on Tuesday. I got the email yesterday and saying they'd received it, and by 5 p.m. the money was in my account. Robin says, I ordered the Benedetti deck off NPC, the Rosenwald in Nero, which is a dark background version, should be here for a walkthrough in a couple of weeks. He's put an NPC version out, has he? So for the Rosenwald, I've got two. I did think about the Nero, but I've got a Minchiati in Nero, and they're nice, but so I've got the everyday usable one, which I love, and then a special Rivoltini one that comes in these wooden, magnetic wooden boxes. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Try not to wheel over it. I mean, aren't they the cutest thing? Yeah, and this is the Rivoltini version. And because I loved it so much, I didn't want this, which was, you know, these are kind of more, well, they are more expensive. They're quite an investment, really, but they're beautifully made, handmade. I just wanted an everyday, and even this, I mean, we're saying everyday, it's art. art card. And they're just, the colour and quality of them are beautiful. So I just wanted one that, you know, doesn't matter too much if it gets bashed up a little bit. So I'll be interested in seeing, I've seen the photographs of the Nero version. And yeah, so I'd be interested in seeing that. And it's cool that they're on Mate playing cards. I do have a Marco Benedetti deck from Mate playing cards. I got, oh gosh, they're going to come toppling down, aren't they? I got the American Tarot, the yellow version. This is really cool. So this is by Marco Benedetti, and it's based on the old 60s and 70s American Tarot. What was they known as? De Laurence. But you can see he's got all colours. I contemplated getting another one, but didn't. I know lots more people have come in. So yeah, so Marco Benedetti does put things on. Let me just try and get this without having tarot Jenga. If that comes crashing down on top of me, makes me concussed halfway through a live stream. Where did I get up to? Oh, Cheryl's here. Hi, Cheryl. Robin's comment, isn't her? Yeah. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing that if you do a walkthrough. Are you going to do it on one of your Saturday lives? Do you take photographs of your card layouts or readings, or do you just rely on memory? No, I put them in my little, oops. I put them in my Midori. I keep saying Midori. My Hobonichi. This is a Hobonichi Weeks Plus. And it has like a little pencil case with it and a magnet. So it's nice and compact. Yeah, so that's where I put my spreads. Simon, what tarot card taught you the most? Five of Pentacles taught me the most. I mean, different cards teach you different things at different times, don't they? But the Five of Pentacles, when I first saw that back in 2006, when I got my first RWS deck, which is 20 years this year, because before that, 20 years before that, well, 19 years before that, it was one JJ Swiss. And I saw the Five of Pentacles. Wow. I'd not long left the church. I'd not long recovered from having a breakdown through leaving the church and my marriage ending and whole sort of resigning from my job, starting my life again from scratch, literally. And that shunning from the church, and where, bearing in mind, all my family were active at that time when I left. I was the first one to leave. And that religion controls your whole life. You know, Sunday is 3.5 hours at church. Monday's family home evening. Tuesdays is your men's and your women's. There's something otherwise. There's an activity in the ward on a Friday. There's just all sorts happening. Women go to Relief Society on a Wednesday, priesthood on a Thursday. Yeah, and this is as well as having a job. So when you suddenly find yourself on the outside, you feel really cut off and isolated, as well as having to deal with getting myself well and all that sort of stuff. So the Five of Pentacles was my life in art form. And I looked at this image and I just, you know, it was that woof. But it helped me because the tarot's always helped me, you know, to process what's going off on the inside. And I looked at that image and thought, there is support, and I'm heading in the right direction. And whilst there might appear to be a warm glow inside the building, having been on the other side of the wall, I know that warmth glow isn't all it appears to be. So that card, I would say, taught me quite a lesson. And I've always, you know, when I get a new deck and I'm doing a walkthrough, I always look and pay attention to the Five of Pentacles, and just to see how it's been depicted. There used to be loads of charity shops in Notts when I was a student there. Must be getting posh. It's kind of been taken over by coffee shops. Coffee shops and mobile phone shops and vape shops. And yeah, but I found a lovely coffee shop this week, a new Italian coffee shop. And I did a TikTok, if anybody follows me on TikTok, inside it. It was cool, really cool. It opened earlier in the year, and my friend and I went down, and we couldn't get in. And we met in town the other day, and I said, should we try and see if we can get in that shop? And we were the only ones in there, but it was really lovely. It's a nice, proper Italian coffee shop, and I've never tasted coffee like it. I sinned it. For Slimming World, but I even had a black Americano with a little bit of proper cream just to pour into it. Oh, it was fantastic. I used to write them down in a journal, but I take pics too now. That's a good idea. I just wouldn't, going about my day, I don't think I'd have time to look at my phone to see. And I kind of don't have time anyway. Even though I write it down, that's more for mapping, because in the evening I do my reflections. So when I come home and see what my morning cards are, I have a think about, did that play out that way? And then I'll lay my new cards and reflect. Each deck is like a different colour to paint with. I like that, Jonathan. My book collection is over 2,000. I have a problem. Wow, 2,000 books. But then that's what I always say, you know, when people say, well, why do you have so many tarot decks? You're never going to be able to read with them all. And I always say, well, have you got a bookcase? How many books do you have on your bookcase? Do you read them all? Yeah, but I would give it time, Sandra. You only sent them this week. And just because I got mine Friday, and you have heard from them, they said they was going to get in touch on Monday, didn't they? You buy books wasn't good for me. I thought you said you contacted them and they said they've received the decks and you'll be hearing from them on Monday. And yeah, it can take up to 10 days because Jonathan's put how long does it normally take? I think you took yours down to the post office, and post offices, mine was collected, but it wasn't collected by the post office. It was collected by Royal Mail, and they're not the same company. People think they are, but they're not the same company. And they are a little bit better. But when I did them about 5 years ago, I think it took longer. So I was surprised at how quickly it came through. Cheryl says, I refuse to sell to We Buy Books. They rip you off. They give you pence and then sell on World Books for a lot of money. I just wanted rid, Cheryl. I wanted rid. Sandra came and took, I think it was 28. And there was the ones that I've sold were the ones that Sandra looked through and didn't want. And I'm like, they're just going to sit here. There was old decks from years ago. And I'm just like, I'm not going to use this again. So for me, it was just a relief. I think I'd have paid them to take them. So, Forever after, I do take pics of my layouts and then info. Robin says, I have the American Tarot, the darker, more mustard version, and the Bollywood Tarot by Benedetti. He did some crazy... Yes, I think you showed that. I think you showed that quite recently, and it did appeal to me. I ordered the MPC cardstock sample pack. Great idea if you want to know which to use. That is a good idea. I didn't even know you could do that. Yes, they were tracked. Their own label, Cheryl. I went on live chat and they said they had received them, but Simon said if they had, I would have got an email, which I haven't. Yeah, I wouldn't worry. I think you'll get paid on Monday. They don't do weekends. I think with them saying to you, we've got them, it could be that they've got them, but you know, they might have received mine on Thursday and I got the email Friday saying we've received them. You know, I don't know how many thousands they get, you know, and things take time. So I think they probably got them. You'll get the email Monday morning saying we've received them, and then you'll get another email later in the afternoon saying payment will be in your account before 7 p.m. like I did. It all happened in one day. You see, I didn't like the eco herbage. Although, what's that deck? I don't know whereabouts it is. We're putting my hand on it. It's an indie deck. I can't think where it is now. But anyway, I got Conrad Stain asked me to check to order an MPC deck for the CS Tarot in Eco Herbage, and I really didn't like it. I didn't like the feel of it. But then there is a tarot deck. It's an independently produced tarot deck. It says it's collage, but it's not very collagey. I can't think of the name of it, but that's on like but it just felt better quality. So they might have changed it. Card samples. Yeah, I don't know about card samples. No, I haven't got my Greenwood Tarot. I told you, I've just, whatever. No, not received anything at all. No notification, nothing. So, and hello Donna, nice to see you. Simon, I was really struck by the Tarot Obscuro in a tin. Have you worked with it? And I did initially. When I did the first walkthrough, I left it out and I did a reading that evening using it. And yeah, it's a cool little deck. I think it's down. See, even I don't know now where I've put things, because I did have a bit of a move around the other day. I did a little, oh, it's here behind my wizard. That's why it's hiding. This is the deck we're talking about, which we looked at during Spotlight a few weeks ago. Yeah, I took down some four vintage Marseille decks. These ones at the top there. And put them in order. You know, sometimes you just want to play with it. So I just thought, I'm just going to put these in order. And I was gutted because one of them had a card missing. And I don't know how I didn't pick it up. So I'm using it for, luckily I'd got an older version. So it's this one. Let me grab it. I mean, this is such an old battered box, look. And this one is 1982, which is Tarot Classic. And Ina showed these the other day. This is what started me going through them. I thought, oh, let me have a look. Because it says copyright 1971. But I'm sure, or is it, no, the 1972 is the one with the card missing. So this is a 1970s version, I believe. And it had a missing Ace of Swords. I'm cracking up. Ignore me. Ignore me. Not this deck. This deck is my 1970s deck. The one I'm thinking about is this one. Again, look how old and bashed this box is. This is 1983. But it was missing the Ace of Swords. And I was like, no. Now, this was bought as a gift. And when I got it, and the person that bought it me, I was in my old job and I left there in 2018. They said they'd picked it up in an antique shop and they bought it as a birthday gift, which I loved. But it was already, shuffled up. And because I put it back in order, I noticed it was missing the Ace of Swords. However, I have got in my little drawer, if I can find it. Oh, why did I start this? Talk amongst yourselves. See, this is what happens when I don't plan. This version, which I've now put spares. So I took the card out of this because this is a 1991, I think. And put it in with this one. So 77 cards from 1982. But at first I thought, oh, the backs are a different tone. It's not that noticeable, I don't think. And I thought, I can live with it. I can live with it. It's slightly lighter, but talking slightly. And when I looked at it, I fanned it that way to see if I could spot the odd one, and I couldn't. The one I thought was the odd one, I pulled it out, it wasn't even the Ace of Swords. But this is a gorgeous deck. I love the colours. It's beautiful. They've all got a different coloured background. So I put that one in order. You was asking about Tarot Obscuro, and I've gone down this little route. But Tarot Classic, this is amazing. Look at the colours of this. Absolutely gorgeous. This is 1970s, and it's got that US Games Stuart Kaplan 1970s cardstock. But look at the vibrancy of these colours. Look at his yellow robe for the Hermit. I love it. It's just got an amazing feel. Why do I keep dropping everything? I don't know. Yeah, just really rich. So Tarot Classic is that one. But one deck that, and I got in a trade with Tom, Railway Cat Tom. One is the Angel Tarot. And it was funny because I just put this in order, and then up on my feed came somebody that was talking about this deck. I was like, oh. It's not the one with the angels on the back, it's the plaid back one. But I mean, it's just really bizarre that it's called Angel Tarot, because it's by a publishing house called Angel Publishing, I think. But having a deck called Angel Tarot, if you saw that on the shelf and you didn't know anything about the deck, you would think Let me take that comment off so it's not in the way. But the colour palette on this is all these kind of pale yellows and greens, but you get these pops of reds and oranges. It's just really nice, and the line work is beautiful. And this has got the lovely 70s, 80s cardstock as well. I love this. Are you all familiar with it? I mean, look at the devil. And then the pips are really beautiful, really lovely colours. Lots of nice flowers. Very pretty. I mean, look at that. How beautiful that is. The wands don't do the Marseille pattern. So you've got these batons, but they're not in the crosses. Similarly, when you get to the swords, they do their own thing as well. Rather than the arched bowed swords. And I do like decks that are a little bit different. The coins are lovely. Yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful deck, and this is in excellent condition. So thank you, Tom. It was about a year ago or so, I think we traded for this. Yeah, Robin, there's one with like a red back, and I think it's got angels on it. But I mean, for me, backs are backs. It's more about how the cardstock has stood the test of time and how usable it is. So, but yeah, really like this. And you will have seen that I did a video at the beginning of the week, although I don't think I set it to go live until last night, or the night before, showing a deck that I put in this pouch, which is going to be my go-to. This is the veritable beautiful colours. I've had lots of comments on this as well from people saying just how gorgeous it is. This is a full size, because these ones are like the small Fournier size, whereas this is like a full tarot size. It feels really weighty in the hand, but loving this. I think it's gorgeous. Look, again, the colours are so deep and rich. Love it. So that's kind of my one that I've had out on my desk. So yeah, so that's what and I've just had the time this week just to sit and play with decks, which, you know, when you work long hours and you're busy and everything else, I sometimes watch content creators play with the decks. I think, oh, I'd love to have a day where I could just play with my cards, and I have this week. It's been wonderful. That's an interesting perspective, Simon. The way there may be people behind the warm glow looking enviously at the people outside who might appear poor but are free. Absolutely. And also, and I have got to be mindful of how I say this, but I'm only talking in my own experience. I felt quite brainwashed, and I'm mindful because I don't like using that word, because I think it's a word that gets bandied about quite easily. Oh, the brainwashed. Brainwashing is a technique, and if you study the Mormons and you look up things like temple rituals, that is brainwashing. Repetitive, repeating back, lights are dimmed, you go through the motions over and over and over again, repeating, and consequences for revealing secrets and all this kind of stuff. And so the warm glow inside the church are perhaps also people who think that they're warm and safe and supported. But actually, it's not until you're on the outside looking back at that glow, like you said, realizing that they're free. They might be poor. There might be some healing that needs to be done, but actually, perhaps things aren't as people believe their life state is in. Oh, you've not had yours either, Jonathan. Are we talking about the Greenwood Tarot still? You're in the States, though, aren't you? I don't think it makes any difference where people are in the world, to be honest. Just because he's in the UK doesn't mean as UK people are getting them any quicker. Hello, Robbie. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping in. Buying books and reading books are two different hobbies. Ella says, thank you so much for sharing about the Five of Pentacles. For me, it was the Hangman that confronted me with how struck I was and that I needed to change my perspective and free myself. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that too. Yeah, because the Hangman does remind us. That comment was 18 minutes ago. Have I chatted that much that I'm that far behind in comments? But the Hangman does remind us, doesn't he, to pause, take a moment, and then, kind of evaluate your situation and look at things from a different perspective. Yes, you got a charge back. You see, I didn't pay by credit card because I don't have a credit card. So I guess it is what it is. 500 books. Wow. Hi, Thace. I look at books like tools. Tools are only useful if used and for the intended purpose. Yeah. The thing is, if you've got a collection of anything, you can't constantly be reading, or, I've got a DVD collection, hundreds of DVDs. I was trying to find Apollo 13 this afternoon. I can't find it. And I know I've got it because I've watched it in the past. And I was looking through every shelf and I thought, my eyes just aren't seeing it. But I know that, like today, because of the whole Artemis thing, of which I've been obsessed. Thank goodness I've been off work this week because I've stayed up all through the night for 2 nights this week when they went round the dark side of the moon. And, well, it started at 7 p.m. over here and I watched it till 3:30 a.m. when as soon as Trump came on, I was done. I've seen it now. They've got round the moon. They're on the way back. And then last night, stayed up to see the splashdown. I've been obsessed with it. Yeah, I got rid of all my CDs. They went to charity shops. They'd take them. I'd got shelves and shelves and shelves of CDs. And now, because I'm a YouTube premium member, I've got unlimited music. There's no need. My car doesn't take CDs anymore. And so, it connects to my phone and I can listen to any album that's ever been made, more or less, any song. And I was like, I just don't need them. They're just taking up space. Does ordering from MPC in the UK have better or worse postage rates than ordering somewhere in... I think there's 3 different rates. And I have learned now to go for the cheapest one and it comes just as quickly as the higher rates. So Somebody told me, was it you, Sandra? Somebody told me they've now started putting a tax on top of postage for MPC, which is making it really expensive. Day whatever 101 of being very relieved I didn't back Greenwood. Yeah. Will's downloaded Cheska's PDF. I'm going to digitally hand and have, yeah, cool. I have a card missing from my winter weight, so the whole deck has to be disposed of. I can't sell or trade it. If it's the winter weight, send an email to Tower Collectibles. I'm sure they'll send you another one, Robin. Have you tried that? I've had cards missing before. I had an Il Meneghello with a card missing. It took a while, but I finally got one back. But it wasn't from Il Meneghello. It was from Tarot BG. And I think they got in touch with Christina Dorsini and got one sent. Because they're not brilliant, Il Meneghello, at answering emails. Ollie says, before I became interested in tarot, I cleared out a lot of books and had so much space, I did not realise making space for tarot at the time. Yeah, the universe was preparing you, Ollie. My wife made me put all my books in the garage, LOL. Just looking to see, because I'm still 14 minutes behind. So I'm just looking like here where if there's a comment you want me to see, then, you know, either tag me or put some capitals in. I was just looking at Tarot Classic. Love the colours. Mine is in a blue box. It's vintage, but not as old as yours. I can't remember what year I figured out it was. It should tell you in the little book that comes with it. Yeah, it should tell you in there. I think mine is was it a little grey book? Green, like a little greeny grey book. I mean, look at how the rusting of the staples. Yeah, but this one is 1971. And there's no US Games copyright on them. So many cool decks. And you can't beat the old vintage ones, can you? Especially if you get them that's in a good condition. It's like you feel like you've struck gold, don't you? Simon's got the dropsies. I have today. Don't know what's wrong with me. Simon, you got a good tan on you. I think it's a glow. I noticed when I went live, I was like, oh, that's a glow, although the sun's setting now. But yeah, I've not really been out. Although the other day I sat outside when I mentioned I went to the coffee shop, the Italian coffee shop we found. We had another walk around town, then we had a final coffee. You can tell I like my coffee. And we sat outside a coffee shop there to watch the world go by. And it was so warm. It was lovely. I think was that Tuesday? Tuesday was such a beautiful day in the UK. Robbie says, I love Tarot Classic. Ina at Taproot Tarot said the cards are literally coloured with coloured pencils. Wow. Yeah, Tarot Classic is gorgeous. But the Angel Tarot, I tell you, there's something about that I'm really loving. It's in my Let Go bag. Robin. Wow. Ella says, the Angel Tarot is new to me. Beautiful. Tis beautiful. I like your back design better. Do you want to trade? I'm not fussed about the back design. But it might be fun. Oh, I didn't watch the Veritable video. It looks lovely. You didn't get to see it? Oh, I did a side-by-side with the vintage copy that I got for a really good price on eBay with the one that you can get through mass market. Simon, what sort of questions do you ask yourself for your intention and reflections reading? Just basically that. So in the mornings when I lay down my pip cards, it's just what do I need to focus on today? Now, sometimes my day is, I know what's more or less as much as we can know what's going to be happening on that day. So like, for instance, I mentioned earlier that on Wednesday I've got an event that I'm speaking at. So I know that my reading on Wednesday morning will be like, okay, what do I need to focus on today? You know, I'm going to be speaking in front of a crowd. I've written my speech, I've practiced it. And now, so I'll be thinking about that as I'm asking the questions. And then in the evening, I'll reflect back. And when I'm reflecting back, it's looking at the cards. How did the day go? What are some takeaways from the day? What could I improve on? And yeah, just those lessons learned, those takeaways from the day. So the intention is, what do I need to do today? What do I need to be mindful of? What do I need to look out for and pay attention to? And the reflection is like that I just said. I'm so tired by the end of a work day, being 70, bless you. Kelly, hello Kelly. The live chat is scrolling on your left, so you are holding up the cards behind it, making them tough to see. The live chat is scrolling on your left. I'm not sure what you mean. Scrolling on the left? Are you watching on a phone? Do you still like to use RWS decks? Yeah, every day, Sandra. Every day I use RWS decks. That's for my reflections in the evening. I like scenic pips, or minors, I should say. Scenic minors. So yeah, absolutely. But I'm just really enjoying pip decks at the moment. Really enjoying them. Could you explain how cardstock is better? I agree with you 100%. The only way I can describe it, so let's grab, talking about RWS, we'll grab one of I've got a couple of blushing Fools. So blushing Fool card, this one I think is 1972. I'm not sure how it will show on, I think the page, my significator card illustrates it really nicely in the blushing Fool. But any card will really. I could even use yeah, okay. So can you see that there is no lamination at all? It is card and it's soft and it's smooth, but look how vibrant those blues are. Look how sharp the line work is compared to the, you know, if you was to go into a shop on the high street and pick up an RWS deck, they'd have a heavy lamination on them. They're a little bit grungy. These are just incredible. They feel like butter. Really beautiful. Now, the Tarot Classics, or these ones from around the same, these have a different cardstock. They feel like there is a lamination to them, but it's not a heavy lamination. They've just got a really nice, soft cards. The ones that we get today tend to be not plasticky, but, and I'm talking about mass produced, you know, we've got some beautiful independently produced decks, haven't we? Oh, talking of independently produced decks, my bag from Sulis Creations come. Remind me, we'll have a look at it. I've not had a chance yet today. But there's something about this, and anybody who's managed to get a blushing fall, it doesn't even have to be a blushing fall, a pre-1975 US Games deck, because after that they had the copyright and things like that, and these don't have copyrights on them. Everybody comments on, oh wow, this cardstock, it just feels so soft, beautiful. There he is. Yeah, the tones are really nice, you know, and even when they bring out decks, because US Games have lovely cardstock, I always comment on their cardstock, but if you think about a deck like the Centennial, it's heavier, it's a heavier cardstock because it's got a lamination on it, and these are just dreamy. And just in case people are asking about blushing falls, because blushing fall, not a blushing fall. And you'd be like, well, how do you know? And the way to usually is, it will say Fitzroy Square, but it'll also say Waddington's. It's usually 1971 or 1972, whereas this one, where is it? The non-blushing fall will just say Fitzroy Square, and there's no Waddington's. And then it's only slight, but the reef is more, it's not really showing up on this. It's more of an olive green than a darker green, but it's subtle. So that's kind of how you know which are blushing falls and which aren't. And that helps for people who are religious programming can be so dangerous and unhealthy. Oh, tell me about it, Marilyn. Hi, Simon. How do I find out where to send you some pouches, please? As in tarot pouches? Is it this one that you saw? So this was made by, oh, what's her name? She did this Penumbra Tarot. I'm gonna probably, oh, I knew Jenga would happen. Oh my gosh. The perils. Eris Elizabeth, who made the Penumbra Tarot, made this for me as a thank you for doing a walkthrough. Bear with me a second because I don't want to leave them because they've dropped on the floor, and I know I'm going to wheel over them. And they're one of my favourite ever decks of cards, and I can't afford that to happen. Oh my gosh, they've gone everywhere. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, what's happened? 2 seconds. I'm back. You know, when I say to you, yeah, we won't plan anything. We'll just go with a live and see what happens. This is what happens. I had to get up and move because these cards, so precious, fell on the floor and they was underneath my wheels. So I had to stand up gently and lift the chair and move the chair because the slightest move would have gone over the cards. And that's what happened to my Vachetta, and I ended up having to get another copy. So I'll count them afterwards to make sure there's 78, but not my Tower of the Holy Spectrum. I couldn't bear it. The problem is with this one as well, I'm probably going to have it where it lays flat because the lid falls off ever so easy. Just sits on top. So when it's upright like that, so lesson learned, I think I'm going to have to keep it laid flat. Organised religion got me started on the path looking for answers into organised religion, Jonathan, or out of it. I dated a slightly rebellious Mormon. I know a few of them many moons ago, but the guilt his family made him feel and his conflicting feelings around it made a difficult relationship. Yeah, and sometimes it's very in your face and sometimes it's quite overt. No, not overt. That is in your face, isn't it? Covert. It can tear families. Yeah. I mean, luckily, but in the end, you know, all my family left eventually, but it took time. My sister left after me, and my parents left a few years after that. But they still classed themselves as Mormons. They still did the prayers, they still blessed their food, and I have an old tarot classic which I had for years. It's a blue box and has 1974 copyright. Wow. No copyright on the front yet. Always a bonus. Always a bonus when there's no copyright on the front. So pesky when I see that. Hello, Tamaya. How are you? Nice to see you. Oh, the blushing fool feels amazing. I'm catching up. I'm only 7 minutes behind now. Kelly says, watching on TV and the chat is scrolling up on the left. Can't see your sweet face if you follow the chat on my phone. I watch on TV, comment via the phone. So, not the comment I've put up here like that. Because that doesn't happen for me. If I'm watching, I watch on my iPad, so I get the screen. I'll show you. I get the screen, and then I get the comments like that on one side here. So what you're saying is these comments appear in the actual image. Wow. I've never known that. So that's good to know. So I have to hold cards this side. Is that what you're saying? So you'd be able to see if I hold it there, but not when I hold it there, because that's where the comments are appearing. Every day is a school day. I had no idea. My work... Oh, that's disappeared. My work and children keep me busy and stressed. Oh, bless you. Thanks for always being there. Oh. It's nice to find some escapism though, isn't it? No, to send you some I've made. Oh, you've made some. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you. I mean, if you want to email me, And I'd happily buy some. I'm always on the lookout for nice tarot bags. I'll show you one in a moment. But I'm just trying to think if I've got, I don't think I've got it up on this one, but my email address is sibri@me.com, SIBRI@me.com. Daniel Martin Diaz decks. That's your favourite cardstock? Yeah, it's like the Pagan Otherworlds cardstock. I think it's slightly thinner than Pagan Otherworlds, I think, but it's really nice. You just made me check my Blushing Fool to see if it's Waddington's. I was wary when ordering, but Melissa Zupan sent me a link which reassured me it was authentic. And was it? It should have Waddington's. There is a yellow box Blushing Fool as well, of which I've got. And you can get the mini boxes in the Blushing Fools, which I've got for these two. These are Blushing Fools as well. And that one wouldn't say Waddington's. But there is a yellow box, but I can't remember now, it was years ago, how you could tell. I mean, other than looking at your Fool. But you can see here, it is blushing. These are so dinky. And again, it's around the same pre-copyright. And that one's called the Traveller's Tarot. I was so thrilled. I traded for this Blushing Fool yellow box. I've got a large yellow box Blushing Fool. But I was so thrilled to get this because these were quite hard to come by. The scrolling chat depends on the device and platform. Mine is to the right from my viewer perspective, but it's got its own column. It's not over the screen. iPad. Yeah, that's the same as mine, Ellen. That's how mine is. That's why I was really surprised. I was like, I'm not sure what they mean. The chat is in a separate box on my computer. Maybe it's your settings then, do you think? Oh, what Marseille are you having delivered, Jonathan? I'm looking forward to getting his Marseille delivered. Ah, yes. You're on about Daniel Martin Diaz has got a vintage Marseille coming out. Has anybody seen any illustrations of it? Cheryl sent me a picture of the box, but I'm like, I want to see what some of the cards look like. Google says the edition I have. Is that your Tarot Classic? Cool. Oh, thank you, Francine. That's a really nice, really lovely thing to say. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you, every one of you. I kept my religion. I just became unorganized. I like that. And Ferdy had said, I always describe my druidry as disorganized religion. Hi, Kathy. I saw in Robin's chat that you was doing your taxes, and I said in the chat, I'm so glad we don't have to do that over here, unless you're a business owner, which you are, but ours is just taken care of. It's PAYE, pay as you earn. So every month we just get our salary and it's already deducted our tax and our insurance from the employer and sent to the government. So we don't have to do tax returns unless we're self-employed. And then if we do, they have to be in by the end of January. So it sounds like yours has to be in for like mid-April. Because I think Robin said there's 4 days left, which will take us to the 15th. Can I trouble to ask you, Simon, and anyone in the chat, which tarot deck do you recommend for battling stage 4 cancer? I want an upbeat, inspirational, soft deck, so to speak. I have so many, but Francine, that's quite a difficult one, because you're saying you want something upbeat, which I can understand, and an inspirational one. And there's so many, but you know, with not being in that situation, I can't talk from a personal perspective and say, well, I think this one works, because I've not experienced that. I mean, there is a tarot called Healing Tarot. Whether that would be appropriate, I don't know. What does anybody else in the chat think? It's a difficult one, because, you know, I think different people would respond in different ways, and perhaps want, you know, some might say I want a really gentle deck, or I want one that's, like you said, quite inspirational but soft. Somebody might want something quite empowering. It's a very personal one to try and answer. And hello, Nancy, nice to see you. Nice to catch you live. Nice for you to be here. Do you have Tarot of Pooh? Oh, that's a suggestion. Hello, Tanya. Nice to see you. April 15th. I have taxes today too. Tarot of Positive Clarity by Gregory Scott. I didn't know he'd done another deck other than the Gregory Scott Tarot. I didn't know he'd passed away until, it was about a month ago. I messaged Sandra. I was like, are you aware? She's like, no, I wasn't aware. I wonder about the Tarot of Oz, Simon. Just did a video. Tarot of Oz. So some suggestions coming through. My sister always reached for things that comfort her inner self. What is comforting to you? Find a themed deck like the Wisdom of Pooh, or whatever is your comfort. Yeah. Oak, Ash and Thorn or Heartwood. Take one to take with chemo with you. Yeah. I've just realised it's darker as well, because when I turned the lights off after I picked up those cards, didn't I? Tarot of Oz is a combi, yes, it's got some nice gentle keywords as well. It's beautiful, beautiful deck. So, talking of beautiful decks, this deck, as you know, I adore. As everybody else who backed the Kickstarter or order this received theirs now. I wanted, I think I said at the time when I got it, that I wanted a bag for it. And I love Sulis Creations. She's a Nottingham girl as well. Really, I should get in touch with her when I want to buy a bag and just say, can we meet up for coffee? Because it took over a week to get here. She lives in the same town. It'd be so much easier just to say, I'll bring you some money. I want that one. I'll bring you some money and let's meet up. Yes, Blue Tarot is beautiful. I love it. So shout out to Sulis Creations. This is their business card, which is really nice. Handmade tarot bags, reading cloths, crochet accessories. So I wanted blue and silver. So I'm hoping I've ordered right. And a soft blue. So you have these little, this has got little silver, and the inside is silver. Take that off. Has one dropped in? Yes, thought it had. Yeah, so this is really nice. It's like a, oh, beautiful, like a powdery blue, baby powder blue, silver on the insides, and it's got these silver and white pearls. And I just thought this would go beautifully in there. Suli's creation bags are beautiful. I'm always looking for nice ones. And she tends to have everything that you need. You know, if you go to Etsy and, I don't know, you've got a deck, like, I'm trying to think of one. And we're talking about Daniel Martin Diaz. So, you know, his Oracle decks, and you put, I want grey, black and grey, for example. She'll have it. She'll have that combination. She's got everything covered. So, perfect fit. The last one I bought of hers, I went for the large size, and it was fine, but I thought, oh, I could have done with just the standard size. So this time I went for a standard size, and I was a bit worried because the blue tarot is quite a chunky deck with it being rose petal, but that is a perfect fit. So I'm happy with that, and I'll always know now that that's got my blue tarot in it. And I was just thinking, is either David or Ferdiad making a joke now, because every time I show a really nice deck and say, oh, I love it, one of them will comment saying, have you ordered a bag for it, Simon? I meant to ask about your lovely quilted reading cloth. Yeah, I noticed that, and I meant to ask about that too. And I forgot when we glided last. I was going to say, oh, that's a lovely cloth you've got. Oh, thank you, Francine. And all the best with your treatment. Be rooting for you. Oh, you found it on eBay. 2 of them for 10 quid. Wow. I like a dark background. This one needs a wash. I noticed I was doing a walkthrough this morning. I've already filmed tomorrow's Hermit shelf. Just so I'm not rushing tomorrow. And I was looking at it and thought, oh, this needs to go in the wash. No, that's not me. I think it must be David then. It's either you or David. So it must be David who puts it. Okay. So, any final questions? We're up to almost 20 past. I've got 10 minutes left. It's flown by. Here's me thinking, despite my little mishaps and dropsies tonight, it's gone really, really quickly. To say we didn't have a theme. We've talked about quite a few bits. Highlights of the week. This deck is brilliant. The Shadows We Cast. If you haven't seen that walkthrough yet, highly recommend it. Beautiful, gorgeous deck. Very moving, very powerful. Yeah, great deck. I also, oh, let me tell you about, I'll tell you about the book. Let me just grab it. I also got something to open tomorrow, but it won't drop until Monday. I've got 2 videos tomorrow. I've got the Hermit's shelf dropping at 3. That will be a premiere and I'll be there for that. And then there's another one dropping at 7, which has been bumped a few times. So I'll film this in the morning, but it will drop on Monday. Sandra went to Watkins Books this week, and I said, if there's a particular deck in there, because I knew they had it last time I went and I regretted not picking it up, would she, would she mind picking it up for me, and I'd PayPal her, which we did. So I'll show that tomorrow. But has anybody read Pixie? Let me know in the comments if you've read it. Oh, Moran, hello. Sorry I missed most of the live. I didn't see the time pass. I was watching something. I'll rewatch the live. That's okay. We've just been hanging out and chatting tonight. And I am okay, thank you. Are you? How's things? Oh no, oh my goodness. I've got the Twilight Zone music playing in my head. You must have sent that as I went to get it. I'm just scrolling back to see any comments that I missed. Oh, there's David. You're a bagaholic, Simon. It is you that puts it, isn't it? About, have you bought a bag for it? Nice, relaxed time. Been a lovely evening. That's good. I just asked that. Seen it, but haven't picked it up yet. I might go for it on audiobook, listening on Audible. The cover is beautiful. I'm struggling with it. And whether it's because I've read the Susan Wan's series. You know, the first one was Magician and Fool. And then it was the Empress and High Priestess. And then I've got the Hierophant and Emperor. And because I've read them, maybe, and then I've read the big Pam Smith Untold Story, I was going to ask if anybody has read this and got any advice, because I have ADD, so I struggle reading books and I need to be gripped, and I'm just finding my mind is wandering and I'm not being drawn into it like I thought I would be. I love this inside. Look at that. It's a green roses and lilies. And I'm only up to the bit where she's just moved back. I'm only up to page 55. But I've just moved to, I've just got to the bit where she's moved, her mum has passed away. She's moved back with her dad to London. She's left the Pratt Institute. But I don't know. I'm really struggling with it. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, so I thought there's bound to be someone in chat that might say to me, stick with it, Simon, it gets better, it's really good. See you, Will. I'm reading and listening at the same time, helps me move forward and focus. Try Audible, Simon. I really struggle with podcasts. I can do podcasts if they're on YouTube and I can watch. But again, with ADD, I find that my mind wanders and I'm like, oh, I missed all that. And I've even tried in the car, having it on in the car while I'm driving. I listen to Uncanny, and the number of times I've gone back like 3 times and re-listened to something because it just doesn't go in. How accurate is the book to take artistic license? Well, I don't want to give anything away, but it seems to be going in a direction that I'm thinking, and I might be wrong, but what I'm sensing is her mum was about to tell her a secret and died before she could tell her what the secret was. And the way she's writing, it's almost like she's going to say that her dad isn't her dad and her dad might be Jamaican. And I'm like, there's no evidence for that at all. And if that's the way it's going, and I could be wrong, because she's talking about her dad and her dad got angry with her, and does he know the secret that my mum was about to tell me? And then she makes reference to how people are talking about her looks, and she keeps talking about this, I wish I knew what the secret was my mum was going to tell me. And I'm like, you know, if they're writing that when there's no kind of historical, unless there is, and I've just never seen that written anywhere. Yes, I do recommend Susan Wan's books, Peak Flow. I really do. Loved The Magician and Fool. I've still got the Hierophant and Emperor, but I've not started it yet, and I do need to start it. And maybe going from that style, which is more story, to this is the voice of Pixie. Pixie's talking in this. Maybe that's why. But I won't give up with it. I'll carry on. But yeah, we'll see. I had listening and reading at the same time recommended. Oh, is it? Oh, so is listening and reading an app or something? I had listening and reading at the same time recommended, but I have to have it 2 times speed because I'm a fast reader. So it sounds weird. Yeah, well, sometimes I'll watch videos on ×2. Or if someone is a fast speaker on ×2, I'll put it on 1.5. But it means you can watch more content. You can get through more. ×2 is a bit too quick, but sometimes I use 1.25. Yeah, I tend to use 1.5 or ×2. There are some people who talk very slowly, so ×2 is perfect. But that lovely lady on Tarot Tats and Tea is reading this too. Lainey, my friend Lainey, is she reading it? Now I'm reading the physical copy of the book and listening to Audible at the same time. So you're reading the book and listening to it being read to you. My brain would just not handle that, Ferdiad. Okay, we're nearly at past, so shall we pull a card? Well, a tarot tile. Let's pull it out. Pull one out, I should say. Pull it out. Good dig. Oh, we have a court. We have the Page of Wands. So this week, you might be called to go in a new direction. What I would say is give it your best shot. Give it your best shot and go into it with a sense of enthusiasm and try to be inspired by the process. It will make the journey a lot easier for you. I think sometimes we kind of went through this last week when I was talking about the Six of Swords, about sometimes we tend to look back, don't we? Because if we're being drawn to go in a new direction, sometimes it feels like a real leap of faith and it's about taking a chance on things. But, you know, taking a chance on something can feel like it's a really exciting time. And the Page of Wands always reminds us that, you know, be inspired, take a chance, enjoy the moment, because maybe it's time to start afresh and forget what's gone before. Always look forward and go with the flow. Give it your best shot. I always listen to previews. Voice to text is terrible. It can be. I spend more time editing after voice to text. Or if I'm driving, I'll send another text. I'll put, sorry, using voice to text. It did not work for me at all. Oh, I have to do the other one and just deal with the brain full of squirrels. Yeah, cool. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me for the last hour and a half. It's always a pleasure. I hope you all enjoy your weekend. If you are around 3 p.m. tomorrow UK time, that's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, then I'll be about for the premiere. It's less than an hour tomorrow. I think it's about 55 minutes with the intro. So hopefully you'll be able to join me there and we'll have a bit of a hangout there as well. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.